this point?
I mean, it is one of the poorest countries in the world. It has been fighting terrorism on its western borders and on its southeastern borders. And what has been happening is that a lot of the foreign support for the security forces has focused on its special operation forces, which has targeted the jihadist groups, but it hasn't backed up the gendarmerie, who are mandated to protect the population. So when the attacks have happened, the gendarmerie, they still take a long time to respond. So the population is not experiencing an increase in security as a result of foreign presence.
So the stability and security for those who live in Niger doesn't seem as if it's the priority for the sort of Western counter-terror efforts that are, that are at risk at present, and what so many people have a concern about here. If the coup succeeds, Niger will be the last domino to fall in a list of neighbouring countries, as we've been discussing, ruled by military junta. What would that mean for the wider Sahel region, sir?
If you look at what's going on right now there, it's important to find a solution, a negotiated solution. Why? Because of the geographical position of Niger. Who has access to Niger can easily, get in touch with North Africa, East Africa, through Chad, Algeria, and also West Africa. So it's essential that a solution, negotiated solution, can be worked out. Otherwise, the whole region, the whole Sahel will be inflamed, and it will affect also the West because, through the desert, so many immigrants can easily come to Europe. So
we so often talk about counter-terror efforts there. The counter-migration efforts, of course, is something that will be exercising the minds of so many politicians, as you rightly point out, in North Africa, particularly in Europe.
And I think also that the West should change their attitude, especially the NATO. Why? Because right now we have 4 American military bases in Niger, 3 military bases from France and Italy, Germany. So the impression was that with the presence of all these forces, Niger should be secure. People should believe better off. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
Aoife?
So what this means, so if the junta stays in power, I think it would be very difficult for French forces to stay in Niger. But also, I think that if they do negotiate a transition to elections, I think it will also be very difficult for the French to stay, because I think any candidate will have to promise the Nigerian population that they will negotiate withdrawal of French troops. So that's a huge shift in the region. There may be a possibility for American, German, and Italian forces to remain in the country. These are very delicate negotiations. Care has to be taken by diplomats to understand the situation and to say the right things.
Having you both on is hugely important. Thank you very much indeed. I'm afraid I'm going to have to take a break at this point. We're nearly run out of time on this show, but we'll have you back. Let's hope that we are, that people are listening, that they understand that these conversations, this diplomatic track needs to be delicate. And it's terrific having you on. Thank you. We're going to take a very short break. Back after this.